Ready to elevate your credit understanding and score? With insider tips and a plan, you can take action to improving your score, which can save thousands in unnecessary finance charges. Let's tackle today's topic with your coach, Credit Christy.
Hey friends, it's Christy, your credit coach. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode. Man, I don't even know where to start on this, honestly. I was trying to do some research on a good topic to share with you this episode, and I stumbled across some information about car loans. And I know the costs of cars have just, like real estate and everything else, has just gone through the roof. But I read a few reports that just punched me in the face. So I just wanted to share some of this with you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I want to see if you're as surprised as I am too. So in October of 2021, Consumer Reports put out this research report that a new car average price is $47,000. It blows my mind. You can't even get a Camry that starts with a 2 or a 3 anymore. What is going on in our world? So I started doing some research. My goodness, if the average new car price is $47,000, what's going on with car loans? And LendingTree has some really great information, and they had shared that the average car payment just hit a record high, shocker, but a new car payment is $644 on average. And it's a double-digit percentage increase over the prior year. And used cars have increased even more as far as a percentage. So new car prices this year versus last year, they're up 12.2%. Used cars are up over 18% in their cost. And leases on average are about 15% higher on that payment than it was just 1 year earlier. So used car prices up 12.2%. So used car payments are up over 18%, and lease payments are up over 15% over last year. So new car prices have increased over 12%. But for used cars, on average, the used car price went up over 40%. And so let's talk about how much people are borrowing to buy these cars. I was just speaking to a gentleman yesterday who last year bought a 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. He was able to finance 100% of the purchase price, which blows my mind, but that's what they did for him. He's already over it, and he wants to look at another car. So he's likely going to have negative value versus what he owes, and he'll be moving that negative equity into the next car. And hopefully they won't let him finance 100% of that purchase price, because if they roll in that negative equity, now he'll definitely owe much more than what that car will be worth probably for many, many years. So let's talk about the average loan amount. The average amount borrowed for a new car was nearly $40,000, $39,721. And a used car was just over $27,000. It was only just a few years ago, I feel like, new cars, many of them you could obtain for $27,000. Now that's the loan amount on a used car. Another mind-blowing fact, the loan terms are well over 5 years. So for a new loan, the term typically winds up being an average of 69.7 months, which is about 5 years, 8 months. And used cars, they're stretched out and averaged out to 67.4 months. So it just blows my mind that used cars can be financed for nearly 6 years. And data from the New York Fed report recently shows that auto debt in the U.S. rose $87 billion year end, according to their report that came out in March of 2022. So what was interesting to me is that there's no federal database that tracks auto loan defaults or repossessions. But a couple of the articles that I've been reading are saying that some of the car lending institutions are reporting a lot more defaults, not only on subprime borrowers, in other words, people who don't have perfect credit, but there's a pretty decent jump for people who have just decent, good optimal credit. So usually the default for those with, prime credit, usually the default rate is about 2%, but it has recently jumped up to 4%. So if I see that repossessions becomes a pretty big topic, I'll probably do another report on that. But I'll leave you with this. The new car payments average is $644. Used car average payment is $488. And the average lease payment right now in the US is $531. I'm seeing a lot of people that have over $1,000 car loan. And quite frankly, when they apply for a mortgage, that really has a negative effect on their total debt to income ratio, keeping them from being able to buy the kind of home that they want to because their total debt to income ratio is just out of whack and quite high. A nice rule of thumb, and you're probably not going to love that I say this because it is conservative, but it works. If you're going to have a car payment, a great rule of thumb is that it should be about 10% of your monthly gross income. So if you earned $48,000 a year, that's $4,000 a month, and 10% makes your car payment $400 a month. If you live by that rule, that practice, you'll find that you'll have some more disposable income for the other things that you have desires for in your life, whether it's buying a home, getting out of debt, creating a savings so you can have vacations and travel and fun things in your life. Keeping your car payment in check, meaning 10% of your gross income, will really help you be able to obtain those other goals that you have in your life. Hey, if you have questions or thoughts, comments, or just want to reach out, send me an email at questions@creditchristy.com. And if we haven't connected on social media yet, why not? I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. Thanks so much for joining me for another episode. And until next time, my friends, stay well.